After 19 years, it is officially the end of an era for Dexter. One of the main characters in the franchise gets killed off in the last moments of Dexter, Resurrection Season 1, Episode 9, officially ending an era that the plot had been building to. After making fleeting appearances in New Blood, Angel Batista, the original character, passes tragically soon after his return in Resurrection, continuing Dexter Morgan's tragic franchise-long theme. The cast of Dexter, Resurrection focuses more on the innocent characters from the previous series and how Dexter's serial killing has either directly or indirectly destroyed their lives than they did in New Blood. As the final significant Dexter character to suffer such terrible losses from the beginning, Batista adamantly informs Dexter of this awful reality when they reunite in Resurrection. That is no longer the case, though. All of the primary characters from Dexter's first season have died, with the exception of Dexter. All of the primary characters from Dexter Season 1 have passed away since Batista's passing, with the exception of Dexter. Deb, Harry, Batista, LaGuerta, Dokes, Rita, Brian Moser, and Dexter were the primary characters in the first season of Dexter. All of them have died during the franchise, and Dexter has been at least somewhat to blame for their demise. Although he was later revived by medical personnel at Iron Lake, Dexter himself technically perished in the conclusion of New Blood. The franchise has gradually eliminated all of the primary characters from the beginning of the series, even though Harry was already dead when Dexter Season 1 started. The Trinity Killer killed Rita to exact revenge on Dexter in Season 4, Deb killed LaGuerta to save Dexter in Season 7, Oliver Saxon killed Deb after Dexter allowed him to live in Season 8, Batista was killed by Leon to save Dexter in Resurrection, and Dexter killed Brian Moser / the Ice Truck Killer after he attempted to kill Deb in Season 1. Technically, Vince Masuka wasn't a major character in Season 1, even though he is still alive in Dexter, Resurrection and even made his eagerly anticipated comeback earlier this season. He was now a recurrent figure with a far smaller direct influence on the plot and Dexter's main problems. Joey Quinn of Miami Metro, however, is still alive but didn't appear in the first season of the show. After Batista's passing, Dexter, Original Sin Season 2 would have been much more painful to watch. While the cancellation of Dexter, Original Sin was heartbreaking, Batista's passing would have made the second season of the prequel series more challenging to watch. It would be far more difficult to see Batista and Dexter become closer in the early 1990s knowing that their last encounter would involve Batista's death and the scathing parting words, F********, Dexter Morgan, as they had only recently become friends in Original Sin. Furthermore, we would already be aware that all of the main characters in Dexter, Original Sin would meet a tragic end. Given that they would both be killed to save Dexter, Batista and LaGuerta's flirtations would be interpreted with caution. Deb's progress toward becoming a police officer will ultimately lead to her untimely demise. Even if Harry tried to help Dexter, he would still end up killing himself. Some of Dexter's early developments, Episode 9 of Resurrection left me wondering where the show was headed. The Metro scene would cut away without Angel facing Harrison, which confused me. Harrison was still present as Dexter slipped away, and he probably saw Angel in the same train vehicle. An interaction of some kind ought to have occurred following their earlier discussion of Harrison's dark path. Considering all Dexter had told Harrison about Prater and Ronald Schmidt, I was likewise taken aback that he didn't think the strange room service request was suspect. I recognized that Harrison was merely doing as his hotel manager instructed, but it seemed like a clumsy choice from a creative and character perspective. Harrison got out of the jam a little too easily, but Uma Thurman does a great job as the icy Charley in that sequence. A better scenario, in my opinion, may have involved Charley taking Elsa hostage in order to obtain the information she required about Dexter. She would have quickly discovered that Harrison and Elsa were both good friends and co-workers, which would have given Elsa a more significant role in the series beyond Harrison's failed romance and the connection to the black mold landlord situation that almost led to Dexter's capture in Resurrection Episode 8. Understanding Charley's past in the military and the circumstance with her mother that led her to Prater gave Resurrection some much-needed background. Charley's status as a hired hand rather than a member of Prater's Sicko Club is a relief. The second most sad scene for Batista's character was when Detective Wallace exposed him for posing as a police officer, although I'm still not clear why he decided to retire before pursuing Dexter, knowing that if he had the opportunity to book him, he would no longer be able to enforce the law. After all, Dexter, Resurrection Episode 9 seems to have played it safe in a season that took a lot of incredible chances with the series, the majority of which have paid off. Given how brutally the returning character arcs in Original Sin either Dexter or Resurrection finish, there isn't much hope for happiness. Until the most recent sequel series adds some of Original Sin's new characters to the present chronology, Dexter's and Masuka's tales are the only ones from that era that are currently allowed to appropriately continue on in Dexter, Resurrection.